Welcome to Jack Campbell Stadium on the campus of South Brunswick High School in Bowling Spring Lakes, North Carolina for tonight's FOCUS Broadband TV high school football game of the week. I am Sam Hickman, joined as always by Mr. Jay Combs, sideline reporter tonight, making his season debut, Mr. Mike Maurer. And tonight we have the visiting South Columbus Stallions taking on the South Brunswick Cougars. And Jay, the Cougars and head coach Rocky Lewis, things weren't looking so good in week one. Down by 18 points to Richlands, staged a furious second half comeback, end up winning that game 38-28. South Columbus dropped a tough one against West Bladen. Of course, we were there for all that action, but this one tonight has the makings of a good one.
Yeah, it could, Sam. Let's talk a little bit about South Brunswick, our first look at them this year. As you mentioned, they beat Richlands last week in a come-from-behind win for sure, 38-28. They trailed 28-10 at the half and then came out in the third quarter and scored three straight. In fact, finished with 4 scores in the second half to win. And that defense, which was kind of loose in the first half, was anything but in the second half, shutting out the Wildcats and forced 3 turnovers. Always a big help to the winning team. Jamison Prince, the quarterback, off to a great start. This is senior year. He was 15 for 30, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also scored a pair on the ground himself, rushing for 50 yards. As you see, I guess this is the little Cougars and the big Cougars, right?
Yeah, the junior Cougars have led the South Brunswick High School varsity Cougars onto the field. And, Jay, as you just noted, turnovers were played a huge role in South Brunswick's comeback win. They were a bugaboo for the Stallions of South Columbus in a 7-point loss to West Bladen.
Yeah, they were. I mean, South Columbus gained 448 yards offensively last week, scored 3 touchdowns on the ground, but they fumbled a couple of times and also threw an interception. So they have some offensive players. This kid, DeMonte Gore, who had 167 yards rushing last week. That's 11.1 yards per carry. Can go. They've got a senior quarterback in Rush Blackwell who rushed for 80 yards as well. So what they have to do this week is hang on to the ball, reduce penalties. They were penalized 80 yards last week. Avoid big plays. West Bladen had lots of big plays. And, establish Gore and Blackwell and may have a shot here for an upset.
But first things first, the Stallions are set to kick the ball away to begin tonight's game. Pablo Castrillon kicks off. It is smothered and covered by the South Brunswick receiving team. That was number 17, Caleb Clark, who pounced on it, and that will give quarterback Jamison Prince and the Cougars excellent starting field position. Dr. Maurer, you ready tonight? Welcome to the show, buddy.
Oh, great to be back here. Finally deemed camera ready, so keep a front profile on me. Excited to see what South Brunswick has to offer. We know from last week that they have the offensive firepower to get going, get moving, especially with a quarterback as senior, literally, and experienced as what they have here. So excited for tonight. Beautiful day.
South Brunswick stopped after a gain of 3 yards on first down. That will set up a 2nd and 7. Jay, we've seen a lot of this young man carrying the ball for South Brunswick, Ethan Overton.
Yeah.
Had about 50 yards rushing last week.
He did, and caught a pass out of the backfield as well. He's not real big, but he's real tough. And if he breaks through that first wave, he can go.
And there he is around the right side looking for running room, and he's got very little 59 on the tackle. That was junior linebacker Jake Cribb, who got Overton from behind. Jay, initially I thought Overton had some room out wide toward the south sideline, but he planted and cut back, and South Columbus was all over it.
Yeah, good aggressive penetration by South that time. Number 4, Ryan Chambers, also in on the stop.
3rd down and 6. Prince drops back, trying to take off and run with it. Still on his feet, finally brought down by big number 77. The junior defensive lineman, Tyrese Johnson, comes up with the sack. So South Columbus forces a 3-and-out on South Brunswick's first offensive possession.
Yeah, real good defensive possession for Russell Dove's Stallions on that play. I think that time kind of a coverage sack, if you will, because Prince had some time early on, but it collapsed.
High short kick, bounces at about the 26-yard line, and then starts to roll toward the South Columbus 20. It was down at the 24-yard line. So a punt of about 31 yards, no return, and we will now get our first look at the South Columbus offense.
Yeah, and again last week, as we mentioned in pregame, they moved the ball nearly 450 yards total offense. Principally a running team, 374 yards on the ground. They threw for 74 yards as well. But they run kind of a little bit of a wing tee. They'll switch it up, get 2 guys, and they'll run some reverses. And they just like to run the ball, especially this kid.
DeMonte Gore around the right side, and a host of Cougars there, including number 37, Jack Early. And Jay Early was credited with 14 tackles in the Cougars' Week 1 win over Richlands.
Yeah, in a hurry as well, and 8 of those tackles were solo, and he's kind of picking up from what was a phenomenal sophomore season for Jack Early this year as a junior, 6 foot 220 from that linebacker position. And there's a penalty.
You mentioned the penalties in the intro, and there's going to be the first one against the Stallions. And Jay, if you want to know how much Rocky Lewis thinks of his linebacker Jack Early, Early was a captain tonight. You don't see that often for a junior.
Yeah, that's
still an
something
underclassman.
You're right. That's usually reserved for the seniors, and the fact that Jack gets the captain call tonight is quite a tribute to him.
So 2nd and 15, Blackwell in the shotgun, rolls out to his left. Oh, South Brunswick stops him dead. Early was there again. He was joined at the party by number 59, Miguel Noyola, on the sack, and South Columbus really up against it. Here about a 3rd and 22 or 3rd and 23, and the ball is marked just outside of the Stallion 10-yard line.
Miguel, a 10th grader, 5'6", 220 pounds.
Handoff to DeMonte Gore, and he gets about 4 or 5 yards, but South Columbus goes backwards on its first possession. No gain on first down, a false start, then a sack before the 5-yard gain on 3rd. So that will bring on the South Columbus punt team.
Yeah, Skylar Swanson involved in that tackle. The senior had 6 total tackles last week in that opening week victory over Richlands.
Punt is away. It's a short one.
Boy,
does take a good South Columbus bounce. It's still rolling, still rolling. Ends up being about a 41-yard punt. Jay, about 20 of it in the air and another 20 on the roll, but it doesn't matter how it gets done. That from where they were on that snap, that was a good result for the Stallions.
Yeah, absolutely. He got a good break with that forward hop that time, but South comes out with a real good field position right about at the 50-yard line.
So more good starting field position for the Cougars. Overton keeps it up the middle. He's still on his feet. Broke a tackle near the line of scrimmage. Still running across the 40-yard line. Ruled down at the 38. It is a gain of 12 yards and a South Brunswick first down.
Overton is a tough dude, and you can put a hit on him, but you better knock him down or he's going to keep those feet moving. Tackled that time by Xavier Bellman, sophomore for South Columbus.
Prince drops back. He's going for, man, he's got him in the end zone. It's dropped.
Ooh.
Prince made a great throw to the senior wide receiver Jordan Davis, who had a touchdown reception a week ago. Davis couldn't quite hang on to this one, but boy, that throw was right on the money, wasn't it, Jay?
You couldn't have handed that off any better than the way Prince threw it. And Jordan Davis, a capable receiver, 6 catches last week for 120 yards and a 2-point conversion as well.
Prince keeps it, makes a man miss near the line of scrimmage. He's got a lot of running room. He's going to score. Jamison Prince from 38 yards out on the read option gets South Brunswick on the board with 7:07 left in the opening frame. 38-yard touchdown run by Prince puts the Cougars ahead 6-0.
Gentlemen, when you talk about opening a hole, what you want to talk about is pancakes, and 73 flattened the linebacker, which made it wide open for him to run right through.
And that would be big Jonathan Brower with that pancake block that Dr. Mike explained to us, and you can't run if you don't block.
In general, a great offensive and defensive
point
showing
attempt is up
for the linemen, both
and
sides
good.
of the ball.
Colin Petey nails the extra point for
Take
South
another,
Brunswick.
let's see if we can find block. There it is, 73 just bulldozed his opponent out of the way. And Prince, who is, we talk a lot about his ability to throw, but we should not forget about his ability to run. He had 50 yards on the ground last week. Couple of scores, and it's what you expect out of your starter, third-year starter here at South Brunswick.
Dr. Maurer, it's never a bad thing for a high school football coach when you got a 3-year starter back there at quarterback, is it?
No, absolutely. I mean, especially at this kind of level, just experience. You've seen a lot. He's gotten reps, hundreds of reps at this point. And you can see it already. I mean, he hit the guy he dropped the ball, but he hit him right on the numbers. He's looking crisp already this season.
Squib kick, bobbled, and then corralled about the 23, and he's dropped just about right there at the 25-yard line.
I think that was Logan Todd on the return, but well covered by the South Brunswick special teams. 7-0 lead with 7 minutes, 2 seconds to go here in the opening quarter at South Brunswick High School. And it is, as Dr. Mike told us earlier, a beautiful night.
So we'll get our second look at the South Columbus offense. Stallions went 3 and out on their first possession. Blackwell keeps it, runs around the right side. A good little gain on first down. He was dropped about the 28 or 29-yard line. Gain of about 3, maybe 4.
Like number 9, Baker. Very active senior from that defensive back position. Total tackles last week 4, but the other thing he did was intercept a pass.
So 2nd and 7. Ball's on the ground, partner. Ball is on the ground.
South Brunswick says they've got it. We'll see.
Jay, I haven't seen
Maybe
any
not.
kind of signal yet. Nope, it's a 3rd down. So South Columbus recovers it. It was recovered at the 27-yard line. That will set up a 3rd and 8 as Looks like South Brunswick gets extra defensive back in the field.
That was Caden Batten that time who coughed it up, but was able to fall back on it. And he had a pretty good game last week in the season opener, 41 yards rushing and a touchdown.
Blackwell, student body left. He's going to take off and run for it. Took a big lick. Got close to the line to gain.
Who that?
He was knocked out of bounds a little shy.
That's 44. Quinn Williams, I think. Yeah. Quinn Williams, a junior middle linebacker, involved in 6 tackles last week and certainly involved in that one.
Jay, here's decision time, right? 4th and 1 from your own 34-yard line, down 7-0.
Oh, they got to try
midway
to draw
through the first quarter.
Sam? They're going to snap it.
They're going to snap it to Blackwell. He's going to run for it, and he got it. So the risky 4th down call pays off for South Columbus head coach Russell Dove. The Stallions earn their first down of the night, and the offense will stay on the field. Drive is still alive.
Dr. Mike looked like a pretty good surge from the right side of that Stallion offensive line.
Yeah, they got the push. I mean, Mike Tomlin's famous for saying, if we can't get a yard, what are we doing? And every offensive play is designed to score a touchdown, so you should be able to get 1 yard on every play.
Makes sense.
Blackwell again, straight up the middle, rushes for about 2 yards, ball out to the 40-yard line.
Well, pretty sure that was a designed pass to the right side, but the ball kind of came out of Blackwell's hand, so he was well served to retain possession and then pick up a yard or two on the play.
Second and 8, Blackwell fakes a handoff, roll it out to his right. He's going to tuck it and run. That was Williams again chasing him, but Jack Early got to him first and tripped him up from behind. Ruled out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Setting up a 3rd and 6 for South Columbus. Ball at its own 42-yard line. 4:24 left in the first quarter. South Brunswick leading 7-0. The only score was a 38-yard touchdown run from South Brunswick quarterback Jamison Prince. Now it's the South Brunswick defense trying to make a stop. Blackwell tried to stretch the ball out toward the line to gain, but ruled out of bounds. Jay, it looks like he is just shy. This is going to be 4th and a full yard. 4th and a full yard. Ball is at the South Columbus 47.
Well, similar to the call earlier, so they'll be going for it.
Let's see if they keep it in Blackwell's hands here on 4th and 1.
Wow. Gutsy call.
A slant pass intended for number 22, A.J. Scott. The sophomore receiver couldn't quite corral the high toss, and it falls incomplete. Turnover on downs, and Jay, for the 3rd time in as many tries, South Brunswick going to start its possession either at midfield or very close to it.
Yeah, really excellent place on the field to start this drive. Well, you got to credit Coach Dove. It looked like that would have been a running situation, but Russ says, hey, let's pitch it. And it was just a little high. Otherwise, I think they would have had the first down.
And head referee Johnny Fort signals for an official timeout. The other officials on the crew tonight, William Halton, Xavier White, Matthew Wall, and Rodney Beatty. So 7-0, good start for the Cougars of South Brunswick, who lead 7-0.
Yeah, it's 7-zip South Brunswick. There's a lot of South here tonight.
Battle of the South.
So it's easy to get things confused, right? So the score, we'll fix that score right now. Now it's 7-7, a tie game, Sam. But
look how quick that was.
And now the defense comes back, yeah.
Well, throwback screen to Jordan Davis. This is trouble for the Stallions. Davis still on his feet, wrestled down at the 21-yard line. A gain of 26 yards and a South Brunswick first down.
Yeah, Jordan Davis, a big kid, 6'4", 175 pounds. He's lanky and presents a really good target for Jamison Prince. 6 catches last week, a $120 on the ground. Long pass catch, 58 yards. He's going deep. Oh.
Jamison Prince's pass intended for number 18, Aiden Tubman. And Jay, did he catch a touchdown last week or 2?
He caught 2, and in addition to 5 catches for 119 yards total. He is a junior, another big kid, 6'2", 220. And listen to what they list him as, Sam, a tight end, a defensive lineman, and a quarterback.
How about that?
Yeah, Mr. Versatility. That's good defense by the Stallions that time. It's at 35, Sam.
35.
Who we don't
Joseph
have.
Clark.
Joe Clark in on the stop that time.
Sets up a 3rd and 10. The ball is at the, we'll call it, 22-yard line of South Columbus. So South Brunswick once again within striking distance. But 3rd and long here. Prince drops back, fires it over to Davis. He makes one man miss, trying to get to the line to gain, but he's driven out of bounds at the 14 or 15-yard line. Let's see where they mark it, partner. Yeah, I think it's going to be marked at the 15. So a gain of 7 yards, and that will set up a 4th and 3.
South Brunswick has a capable place kicker. He's a sophomore.
Colin Peaty?
Colin Peaty. He had made 4 out of 5 PATs last week and a field goal from 27.
Give to Overton. He stopped, Jay Bird.
Close. Yeah,
he stopped. He's about 2 yards shy.
Number 4, Ryan Chambers, gobbled him up.
Man, Jay, you talk about bowing your neck defensively, and, you know, it kind of, that getting inside their red zone, it had to look like, boy, we're going to be down 2 scores early, but the South Columbus defense found a way to come up with a critical stop early in this ballgame.
That's a great observation, Sam, and you wouldn't think this early in the game a critical stop, but that indeed was for South Columbus. Man, tough sledding. Rocky had these guys tuned up for this running attack this week. That's number 3. That's Batten again. A sophomore who rushed well last week, having a hard time getting going tonight.
2nd and 7. Ball is at the 17-yard line. Man in motion. He's going to try to sprint around the left side. Just absolutely nothing doing. And the ball carrier tossed out of bounds. Is that 5, Xavion Bellamy on the carry?
Yeah, and another kid that's quite a capable runner. Last week, 51 yards, averaged 8 yards a touch. But South Brunswick seems like early on well prepared for this running attack that they're seeing, which generally seems to feature the end positions, right? They
the
try to
wing
get
backs.
out. Yeah.
Yep.
But have not had much luck here tonight.
3rd and 9. Oh, inside handoff that time. He's got some running room, but, oh, the ball's out, partner. Oh, man, and fortunately for the Stallions, it rolled out of bounds. That was McPherson, I believe.
It was.
On the carry. And, Jay, it looked for a second like it was a sure-to-be first down. Then South closed quickly, made the stop, and the loose ball rolled out of bounds at the 23.
They gained yards on that loose ball,
did.
didn't they? So they're going to go for it, Sam. Wow.
South Columbus leaving the offense on the field, 4th and 1. Maybe trying to draw them offside, partner.
It sure looked like it on that one.
Play clock is down to 5 seconds. And South Columbus head coach Russell Dove wants to think this one over. Calls for a timeout with a minute. Well, Jay, I believe the clock's still running. Oh, it stopped now. Stop now. 1 minute, 36 seconds left in the first quarter. South Brunswick 7, South Columbus 0. Jay, we saw the Stallions attempt 2 fourth-down conversions last drive. Do you think they leave the offense on the field here?
I don't know. He's obviously thinking about it. They last week, one of the problem areas against West Bladen was giving up big plays. I think that West Bladen had 3 scores over 60 yards. And right now, the Stallions have come up tonight with a big play defensively to take over on this possession. But now looks like they're going to try to come up with a big play offensively. Look how tight they are lined up.
Man, tight splits, huh, Dr. Mike?
Very tight. Clearly probably going to run it. Maybe a trick play, but South's already got their heavy package in the offensive line. 56, a man after my own heart, has been playing a little bit of both ways today. But he's been coming in on these heavy package short and 4th and shorts.
Blackwell's going to keep it and just lower his head and kind of bully his way across the line of game.
Yeah, I think that's when Coach Dove just said, hey, Rush, look, you've been doing this since you were in the 9th grade here, right? You're now an 11th grader. We're just going to put the ball in your hands and the team on your back and see if you can't pick up a yard and a half, and he does.
Oh, bubble screen.
Oh.
I think they had a play if DeMonte Gore could have held on to it. At least they had a chance if he could have made one guy miss, but he dropped the pass out from Blackwell, and that will set up a 2nd and 10 from the 26 of South Columbus.
I'd say this evening here as we right around the 1 minute mark of the first quarter, South Brunswick's done a great job of shutting down DeMonte Gore.
Yeah, South's been running kind of this like.
South Columbus keeps it on the ground on 2nd down. No gain on the play. That will set up a 3rd and 10.
Mike, come again on that comment.
Well, what I was going to say is South's been kind of running a heavy package versus like kind of a quick speed package. And the linemen both times are playing it very well. They're keeping their guys off the linebackers, and that's why the linebackers keep making these plays.
Blackwell running for his life back there. Now he throws it back across the field, and he found a man, partner. What a play that is. He found number 10, Briar Johnson, alone about 11, 12 yards down the field and connected with him for a first down.
Sam, I'll tell you what, you look at the roster for South Columbus, the Stallions are loaded with sophomores, right? And all of them seem to get into the game and make some contributions. Not many seniors on their team this year, just a couple. So it's a junior, sophomore-dominated roster for the Stallions this season. That's probably the last play of the first quarter.
The first quarter clock has expired. We will take a short break before the second quarter. South Brunswick leading South Columbus 7-0 on your FOCUS Broadband Game of the Week. And we're back for the start of the second quarter on your FOCUS Broadband Game of the Week. South Columbus has a 1st and 10 from its own 38-yard line. They fake it on the ground, and Blackwell thought about throwing it, but hangs on to it and kind of hops out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So, Jay, that's officially a sack. Goes down as an official sack as Blackwell lost a yard there.
Tell you what, Rush looked pretty cool, calm, and collected. If that were me, I'd be running for my life.
I think I'd have thrown that ball into about the 4th row.
Yeah.
It's 2nd and 11 for the Stallions. And I believe South Brunswick wants a timeout before this 2nd down snap. The Cougars do indeed had some alignment issues before that 2nd down play.
Sam, you know, they say that, I forget the statistic, but 93% of effective communication is everything other than the spoken word. So, you know, body language, motion, the jerk of the head. I guarantee you, the coach who walked out on the field,
Coach Sauterfer,
had a lot to say without saying a word, just the way he walked out on that field.
So, Jay, I picked up the message from up here.
Yeah.
And I promise you I can't hear him.
I'm telling you, I didn't want to take a timeout here with, 6 seconds played in the second quarter. There's the cheerleaders from Cougar Land here doing their thing. Saw some kids tonight, looked like they were dressed from the islands or Hawaii or something. Hawaiian night, I understand.
And, Jay, it's a big few days for these kids who are here tonight. They've got a game tonight, or, they cheer tonight or play tonight, and they go to school Monday.
Yeah, summertime's over, huh?
Yeah, first day of school,
and that's
about 72 hours.
Good.
Fall start against South Columbus, so that will take a 2nd and 11 and make it 2nd and 16.
I'm trying to keep track of penalties this evening for the Stallions of South Columbus. Last week they were hurt terribly by them. Tonight, that's just their 2nd infraction.
That's an illegal shift. McPherson was running toward the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. And while you can get away with that in the Arena League, not so much in high school, college football or the NFL.
I guess they can do it in that Canadian League,
yes,
right?
That's right.
Those guys run all over the place before
get about a 20-yard head start, as if playing DB wasn't hard enough, right?
Yeah, right.
McPherson on the give.
Nothing.
Jack Early.
Wow. And we got a flag.
Had a flag
I wonder if
there
that
at the
was
very end. Did he
just
grab a face mask?
Yeah,
maybe
a little less than kind on that takedown. I don't know. Officials
thought I saw the white
know.
hat signal face mask or horse collar. Personal foul, face mask against South Brunswick.
That hurts.
It does hurt, Jay, but I don't know. I don't think it's an automatic first down in high school football.
Still got 2.
I think you mark off 15.
They got a ton to go, don't they? Yeah. Well, I don't know, Sam. Yep. Okay, you were right as always, Sam. 6 yards left, but
so
much better down and distance situation than they had.
Yes. And, Jay, this is about as close to midfield or crossing into South Brunswick territory as the Stallions have been.
Wow.
Quinn Williams, that's a heck of a play.
Man, look at all the blue shirts, and it started with number 44, Williams. Sam, you're absolutely right. Mike, they're pretty aggressive defensively here this evening, don't you think?
Yeah, South's looking really good on the defense. Like I said earlier, the linemen are kind of keeping the guys off the linebackers. They're flying everywhere.
Yeah. those linebackers able to fly, Sam, because those guys in the trench are doing their job.
3rd and 7, ball at the 41. Blackwell fakes to give to Gore. He's got nowhere.
Nothing.
Absolutely nowhere.
Wow.
Jay, 38 and 3. So Grady Sotrifer, who is the son of defensive coordinator Chris Sotrifer, and then number 38, Ethan Adams, in on the tackle. And boy, Ethan Adams wearing number 38. He's got big shoes to fill. That was the number that Garrett Frazier wore.
Yeah.
He was a stud.
Hitman Frazier, and had a phenomenal career here at South Brunswick High School.
So 4th and 9, and South Columbus will bring on the punt team. Another short kick, and this one takes a South Brunswick bounce.
Wow.
And it rolls back across midfield down at the 48-yard line. Jay, is an 8-yard punt. Go down as officially an 8-yard punt by the Stallions.
In the first quarter, Sam, as you described, they got a break with that forward bouncing punt. This time the break went against them, not bouncing forward, but bouncing backwards. 8-yard punt. Not a good kick. See if Prince can take advantage of it.
South Brunswick's offense back on the field. 10:03 left before halftime. Cougars leading by 7. Flung a pass over to Jordan Davis. He's got it still on his feet. Finally knocked down at the 30-yard line. A gain of 18 yards and a South Brunswick first down.
Yeah, if you can get the ball to Davis, he can do some things out there. Tall, lanky kid.
And watch him run.
Big steps. Yeah, Bellman with the stop that time for South Columbus.
So the Cougars on the move, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Overton flanks Prince in the backfield. Prince is going to keep it. He's got a lot of running room, partner. Good block down the field initially by number 5, Stephen Callahan, but then a South Columbus defensive back shed the block, came over and made the tackle.
Yeah, I think it was DeMonte Gore and also Chambers involved in that play. But
good eye, partner.
We, as we said earlier, we talk a lot about Jamison's throwing ability, but don't forget what the kid can do with his legs. And I love what Mike Maurer said earlier. This kid's been starting since he was a 10th grader. He's got a lot of knowledge and experience, and he uses it wisely.
Fakes the handoff to Overton, throws the post route over the head of the intended receiver and incomplete. That will set up a 2nd and 10 from the 19.
I think that was number 5, and if it is,
Callahan.
It's Stephen Callahan. Something maybe that looked pretty close to being open, Sam.
Jay Callahan has been a lifelong soccer player.
Oh.
Came over to the football team, and Coach Rocky Lewis raved about him in the preseason. Said he has as good a hands as anybody in the area.
And Rocky didn't make him kick, huh? Because he's got a pretty
Petey
good
already
one.
had the lock on that job,
yeah.
I guess.
Colin Petey.
Stop route. It's called.
There's those
and
hands.
there he is.
Yeah.
Callahan, did he get in? Oh, he's ruled down at about the half-yard line. That would have been his first varsity football touchdown. Instead, it'll be a gain of 19 and set up South Brunswick with a 1st and goal at the 1.
Sam, right on cue. You just got talking about Callahan's great hands, and certainly saw that ball that time, brought it in, and came darn close to picking up a score. Mike, what do they do now?
I would run tight splits and just sneak it in there. They're only a yard out. We'll see what happens.
Might be sneak time.
Ethan Overton, 1-yard touchdown plunge, and the Cougars increase their lead to 13-0 with 7:55 left in the second quarter. It's a 2-touchdown game, partner.
Yeah, that was not Not Jamison sneaking that time, but Overton plowing his way in for the second touchdown of the night for the Cougars. So our guy, the kicker, Colin Petey, out to go 2 for 2 tonight. That would make him 6 for 7 on the season.
Just a 10th grader, partner.
Yeah.
Kick is up. Kick is true, and the Cougar lead is 14-0. Here's the touchdown run again from young Mr. Overton.
Tell you what, the big guy's up front banging things around. I got to call out my guy that time because he was 6 yards into the end zone. That'd be Caleb Combs. Caleb Combs, 6'2", 300 big counts, helping to score that touchdown for the Cougars.
So just under 8 minutes remaining in the first half. South Brunswick has a 2-touchdown lead. And, Jay, if you're Russell Dove, the head coach of the Stallions, you hope right here maybe your special teams can give you a spark.
That's a great point, Sam. And this would be an outstanding time for South Columbus to come up with a big play. They did not have many big plays last week. They have not had, save for one defensive stand tonight, a big play, but a great kick return would go a long way to helping South Columbus right now. And they
Kick
won't get
finally rolls out of bounds about the 14-yard line. So, Jay, you going to take the ball at the 35 or you make them re-kick it?
I think we go to the 35. You know, a couple of touchdowns here early on for South Brunswick, but I think the name of the game for the Cougs tonight has been that tenacious defense. They gave up 28 first-half points last week. Rocky said, man, I don't know what was going on. We just weren't ready. Hey, they're ready tonight.
I don't know if they've given up 28 yards tonight.
That's right. They ready tonight.
South Columbus 1st and 10 at its own 35. Blackwell keeps it, gets a good gain on first down, exactly 5 yards out to the 40-yard line. Boy, Jay, I don't know that Blackwell's gonna win any 100-yard dashes, but he is a tough runner between the tackles.
Yeah, he's a pretty good-sized kid, and you could just ask Bennett Ballantyne, who had to bring him down that time, and I'm pretty sure he would agree. This is a kid they got to get going.
Batten.
Or Batten.
Yep, that was Caden Batten, number 3. Got a couple yards to the 42-yard line where it will be a 3rd and 3. And the way South Columbus has been so aggressive on 4th down, they're probably thinking 2 plays to get 3 yards here.
Yeah, last week Gore was getting around the end effortlessly. He has not had that luck here this evening.
That's Xavion Bellamy around the left side. He's got a lot of running room.
There you go.
Across midfield for the first time tonight for South Columbus. Bellamy wrestled down at the 45 of South Brunswick. It's a 13-yard gain and a Stallion first down.
You know, I wonder, it seems to me when these wing backs, reverse and come to quarterback Blackwell for the exchange, just like there. That score. Oh, guess who?
Early.
Guess who?
Man, he had 14 tackles last week. He's approaching that number in the first half tonight.
But notice he hands the ball off to the wingback in between him and the line. I wonder if they would ever think about running him behind the quarterback so there could be maybe a little more, mystery there, a little
Deception.
easier to fake, deception. And another penalty.
Oh, we had a 5-yard penalty against South Columbus. So it'll be 1st and 15. The ball is marked right at midfield.
Yeah, I was bragging about them playing penalty free, and since then they picked up 3, total of 4 for the game.
Blackwell evades a rusher. He's got a man down the sideline. Pass is caught. Receiver still on his feet.
He's in.
And he is going to score. Number 14, Javon McLaughlin, 50-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Rush Blackwell. And South Columbus answers the Ethan Overton touchdown with a 50-yard touchdown strike. Blackwell to McLaughlin. Stallions are on the board.
How about that? That's a big play, Sam, and we talked ad nauseum about making big plays, and finally the Stallions come up with one. Great passing catch by Blackwell and McLaughlin. Now, kicking last week for the Stallions was a little bit of a challenge. Are they going to try it here?
Yeah, this is Brian Gonzalez. Briar Johnson is the holder. Brian Gonzalez, the sophomore kicker, on for the point after try.
Looks pretty good.
The kick is
Nope,
up,
missed it.
and it is no good. So South Brunswick 2 for 2 on point after tries. South Columbus 0 for 1. Jay, look at this throw. Boom.
And McLaughlin all on his lonesome. I think perhaps a breakdown. Let's go down to Mike and see what he thinks.
Yeah, a little breakdown in the zone coverage there. I'm not sure if the cornerback had flat responsibilities or deep half, because he kind of got frozen when he saw the guy coming out the flats with the quarterback rolling out and just left the guy wide open without any kind of over-the-top coverage.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. That excellent physical therapy analysis, right? And Mike, he played ball at Slippery Rock, right? After playing high school ball in Ohio, which is about like playing small college ball in a lot of places, right? So Mike knows exactly what he's talking about. The South Brunswick cheerleaders know exactly what they're doing. Hawaiian night, Sam. Have you ever been to Hawaii?
I have not.
I have not either.
Would love to go.
Me too. I feel so sorry for those folks over there with a terrible fire.
Horrific tragedy.
Yeah, man.
Just a devastating blow down there.
We ought to start lobbying FOCUS to send us to Hawaii to do the Hawaii Bowl or Aloha Bowl or something like that.
Yeah. So my middle brother, Brett, went with East Carolina to the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl one year.
Did he really?
He spent Christmas in Hawaii. I spent it in Whiteville.
There you go.
Yep.
Such is the life for the big guys.
And Christmas come early as high school football is back on FOCUS Broadband TV. Got a good one brewing here in BSL. South Brunswick leading South Columbus 14-6. High directional kick fielded cleanly by the Cougars. Return man still on his feet out to the 43-yard line, about a 12-yard return. And Jay Moore, really good starting field position for the Cougs.
I was trying to see who did run that ball back.
It was 22.
Seth Pierce?
Seth Pierce.
Okay, Seth Sr. doing a pretty good job, a kick return.
So, Jay, most of the time you have those guys who play linebacker on the kick return team to do some blocking. That time he got to, man, you know those guys are licking their chops when they get to return one.
He didn't have much choice, really. They kicked it right at him. So
yep.
Seth doing a good job of picking up 10, 11 yards.
And he's clearly got good hands. He caught that one, you know, like he's done it a million times before.
I feel like Jamison wants to go up top.
Right over the middle of the field, just a pitch and catch to Overton. And, Jay, we got a little scuffle going on there in the offensive backfield. That was enough for the first down yardage. 11 yards from Prince to Overton.
You know, I wonder if Ethan's more than 5'6". He's not real tall, but doggone if he's not tough and shifty.
Slant route, incomplete, but the play was blown dead. We got a dead ball, false start against South Brunswick. It'll be 1st and 15. Ball will be at the South Brunswick 48-yard line. And, Jay, if I'm not mistaken, we're back here next week, aren't we?
St.
as
Paul's?
St. Paul's comes to town.
That's one of Yogi's old schools, isn't it?
It was indeed.
Yeah.
Head coach there from 88 to 93.
Yep.
Oh, he's got a man deep. Oh, man, the defensive back there for South Columbus may have got a hand up and batted it down. Is that, yeah, McPherson, 9.
McPherson, 9, okay.
And Overton was the intended receiver.
Yeah, and Overton said, you know what, that's pretty good play on your part. Slap 5 with him.
Yep, gave him some props.
Just kind of looks like, and Mike, a lot of time Prince is getting from that offensive line to throw the ball.
Yeah, I think he's only been sacked once tonight, and that was definitely more of a coverage sack, as you mentioned. He's getting tons of time to throw it. Just put a little too much air underneath that one.
See what he can do with this one, and he's just going to run it, use them legs, and using them for a big, big gain.
17 yards on the scramble and another South Brunswick first down.
Yeah, you hear that, what's that, the Cougar shot in the background? I don't know if you can pick it up. The Panthers use that too. Nate was explaining to me.
Prince rolls out to his right. Now he's going to fire it, and it was caught. What a catch by 18, Aiden Tubman. Gain of about 13 yards and another South Brunswick first down.
5 grabs last week, so obviously Tubman is a more than capable receiver. And as I mentioned earlier, pretty big guy at 6'2", 220 pounds. But Prince can just kind of pick them apart right now.
Quarterback draw. Jay, I think they may get the Cougars for a hold here.
Well, somebody's going to get something because that yellow flag popped out.
It was a gain of 3 yards, so it would be 2nd and 7. We'll see what the call is.
Some of those big guys in that offensive line. 77, Peyton Morris, 255 pounds. A big guy. I mentioned.
No flag. Play
No flag,
stands,
okay.
3-yard gain.
Caleb Combs earlier, he's pushing 300. I mean, they got some beef up front.
Prince drops back across the middle, very nearly intercepted. Good coverage in the middle of the field by Easton McPherson. Another pass intended for Overton. This one falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, Jamison trying numerous attempts to get the ball to his favorite running back, Ethan Overton. He's got so much time to throw. I mean, he can just pick and choose. And he just picked up 5 yards.
Jay, if you're tracking those South Columbus penalties, you can add 1 more penalty and 5 more yards to that tally.
That would be a total of unofficially 5 right now here in the first half. So they're actually about even or maybe just a little bit more compared to the penalties that they picked up last week.
3rd and 2. Prince in the shotgun. Those are all the way to the other side of the field, intended for Jordan Davis. Jay, it's hard to overthrow a 6'4" receiver, but that one was just a little too tall, and that will set up a 4th and 2, and no movement on the South Brunswick sideline. And with Prince at quarterback and these weapons,
tell you what, on
pretty
this
confident
drive,
going for this. Sorry, partner.
on this drive, credit the secondary. Let's see if they can hang on for one more play.
Prince rolls out to his left, looking for a receiver, fires it. A low, incomplete. Incomplete. They say it hit the turf. It was intended for number 12, Mark Bishop, and he almost made a remarkable catch, but the referee was right on top of it, said the ball hit the ground, that Bishop trapped it, and South Columbus forces a turnover on downs and will take over at its own 15.
Mike, a lot of missed opportunities on that series for South Brunswick.
Yeah, definitely some missed opportunities. Honestly, on that play, I feel like he had one guy to beat, and with Prince's legs, he probably could have done it, but it just shows the confidence that he has in his arm. You also can see the confidence the coaching staff has in Prince because they've been slinging it right up the middle. It's looking good so far, even with that turnover on downs.
For sure, confidence in Prince goes a long way.
Xavion Bellamy is chopping those feet, trying to fight for some extra yardage. Is that early again?
I would not be surprised. I think there's multiple. It's early and there's late, right?
Man,
he's around the ball. Listen, this is
all over the place.
A remarkable defensive effort here in the first half, particularly a team that amassed 374 yards rushing last week. They don't have anything close to that tonight.
Handoff around the right side. That's DeMonte Gore. He's still on his feet. A flag came out. It was enough for the first down yardage, but partner, I'm afraid for South Columbus, the South Columbus faithful, that this one's coming back. They did get the Stallions on a hold, so instead of a 1st and 10 at their own 32, the Stallions will face Jay, it's going to be 2nd and 20 from about the 2nd and 17 from about the 8-yard line, I do believe.
I'm not sure where exactly that hold happened, but it looked to me like by the time the flag came out, Gore had gotten around the edge and was at least 5 yards downfield. That hurts you.
They're killers, aren't they, partner?
Yeah, some penalties okay, but some hurt you.
Blackwell running for his life.
Okay, what do we got
tried
here?
to throw it away. They're fighting for it over there, but it was definitely a forward pass. Whether or not it was intentional grounding, I don't know.
It looked like intentional grounding to me.
Intentional grounding, Mike, you think?
That's what it looked like from here. It was kind of a close call, but he definitely was getting chased. I didn't see a receiver there, and he kind of shoveled past it right there.
That's enough for the officials to review, and it looks like they're calling it
intentional grounding, and it occurred from the end zone.
So that's a safety?
So it is a safety, and South Brunswick takes a 16-6 lead. And, Jay, it's really hard to see from up here. I didn't even realize Blackwell was that close to the goal line. I thought it was more at like the 5 or 3 or 4 yard line. But the referees were all over it, and it's a safety for South Brunswick, and the lead is now 10.
Well, we've been talking, and rightfully so tonight, a lot about the defensive effort by South Brunswick, and now we can even say their defensive unit scoring points as they pick up a 2-point safety to grab a 16-6 lead with 3:11 to go.
And, Jay, the Cougars could really get a stranglehold on this game if they could take this free kick that South Columbus is about to kick away to them and add more points before halftime.
You good teams take advantage of opportunities, right? And this is certainly one that the Cougars can pin back the Stallions and at least make them go the length of the field. And if they can get the ball back, they're probably not going to have to go that far.
Jay, I think the worst starting field position that South Brunswick has had tonight was like it's on 42. The worst they've had, they started a drive at their own 42. Everything else has been they're at midfield or on South Columbus's side of the field.
And folks at home, forget that NFL analysis I just gave you because South's going to end up with the ball. I'm thinking they're kicking it to the Stallions, but it's the opposite way.
South Columbus has to kick it off, and Jay, because it's a free kick after a safety, it's from the South Columbus 20.
He's going to place kick it. Usually they punt it, but
they could start this drive
real
inside
good.
the 40. It was a good squib kick. Now South Brunswick's bobbling it around, but Davis has got it. He can really go. He's still on his feet. Finally brought down inside the 40-yard line. Wrestled out of bounds at the 38. A good return by Jordan Davis. And as we said, more excellent starting field position for the Cougars. They'll have 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of South Columbus.
Mike, I think Jordan is kind of sneaky good, lanky and has some speed.
Yeah. 16-6 Cougar lead. 3 minutes left before halftime.
Let's see if on this series, Prince looks to pick them apart. Nope. First play
He's
on
going to
his
do
legs.
it on the ground on first down. Still on his feet. Finally wrestled down inside the 10-yard line. All the way down to the 6. A gain of 33 yards and a South Brunswick first down.
Yeah, Jameson having a good night tonight, rushing the ball. And, when we did the interviews with him at the Bash at the Beach banquet, I remember Nathan Evers, our producer-director, saying, it looks to me like Prince has gotten a lot bigger. He's showing that bigness here this evening.
Handoff to Ethan Overton, dropped at the 3-yard line, a gain of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3.
By the way, at that banquet, Prince and Caleb Combs were the representatives and did a tremendous job representing their school, the Redheads of South Brunswick.
And South Columbus calls for a timeout with 2 minutes 22 seconds left before halftime. South Brunswick facing a 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line, trying to increase their lead here late in the first half. Jay, I'm trying to remember who got the ball first. South Brunswick got the ball first, so South Columbus will get it first after halftime. But if you're the Stallions, you're just trying to come up with a way to keep them out of the end zone. And I think even if you could hold them to a field goal here, it would be a huge victory.
Yeah, Mike Maurer, time for the big boys to come out and play?
Absolutely. I would run the same exact play they ran on that 1-yard run. That's what I would do here, and I think they're probably going to do that.
Well, they do have some big characters up there to run behind.
2nd and goal from the 3. Handoff to Overton. Still on his feet. Touchdown, South Brunswick. Ethan Overton from 3 yards out with 2:18 left in the second quarter. Scores to make it 22-6 Cougars over the Stallions of South Columbus.
Yeah, second TD of the night for Ethan Overton. You see him right there, number 23. Point after. Good.
Point after try by Petey, splits the uprights, and the lead is now 23-6. And Jay, here's another look at the 3-yard touchdown run by Overton.
Well, like Mike told us, nothing fancy. Just let those big dogs hunt up front in that O-line, and easy score for Ethan Overton.
So, Jay, it was a 14-6 ball game with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left before halftime. At the 3:13 mark, South Brunswick sacked Blackwell in the end zone, or intentional grounding in the end zone for a safety. And 55 seconds later, Overton scores on a 3-yard rushing touchdown. So the lead went from 14-6 to 23-6 in 55 seconds.
Yeah, big 9-point spread in less than a minute. So, but don't forget, last week South Brunswick ended the first half trailing 28-10 and came back and won that game. So the Stallions got to try to get something going here offensively in the final 2 minutes of play.
Jay, South Brunswick tried a squib kick, and it hit one of the guys on the front row, Craig Baylor, and Baylor alertly pounced on the loose ball, and it was a live ball at the Stallion 46-yard line. So with 2:15 left before the break, South Columbus gets its best starting field position of the night.
Well, that should, help. opens up the field a little bit for them. And again, if they can get Gore around the edge, if they can get Batten around the edge, even Bellamy, get out in some daylight and let these guys run.
No. Big
No.
Jack Early.
No, not in my house.
Takes down McPherson for a loss of 3 yards, and then South Brunswick immediately calls for a timeout with 2:06 left in the second quarter. Partner, it looks like Rocky Lewis and company are trying to get this ball back before halftime.
Don't blame them. They could almost salt it away, right, if they could score again. I'm trying so Jack Early is never late, right? He is around the ball and flies from all over on the field, and a really, really good and effective tackler. Jack Early, only a junior, Sam, 6 foot, 220. Last week in the opener, total tackles 14. 8 of them were solo, plus a hurry. He's had a bunch here this evening. Jack Early is leading this South Brunswick Cougar defense all over the field tonight.
And Jay, aside from the 50-yard touchdown they allowed earlier in the second quarter, it has just been a rather dominant effort by the Cougar D.
I would say, and a large part of this lead is because of their defensive effort.
Blackwell's going to keep it on the ground, has to run all the way around the left side, then runs over Quinn Williams, but Williams able to deliver enough of a blow to slow him down, but a tough run by Blackwell from the 43-yard line to the 49, so an 8-yard run. Sets up a 3rd and 5 from the 49-yard line of South Brunswick.
Well, if the Cougars hold them here, they're going to have plenty of time to do something.
Well, they stopped them. It was a gain of 2 yards. It'll be a 4th and 3 for South Columbus.
Seth Pierce says, hey, it's my ball. It's my ball. Official said, nah, not so fast, Seth.
All right, Coach Maurer. We're going to Coach Maurer's corner here. You're going to be South Columbus head coach Russell Dove. It's 4th and 3. The ball is at the South Brunswick 47-yard line. A minute and a half left before halftime. Are you leaving the offense on the field? Are you trying to draw South Brunswick offside? Or are you just punting this one away and making South Brunswick go 70, 80 yards for a score before the break?
Well, you only have one time, or you do have one timeout left. South Brunswick called this one. You definitely try to get them to jump off sides, call the timeout, reset, and then I go for it, right? So it's 23-6. You're not out of it, but you're not quite in it, especially with how stout South Brunswick's defense has been. South Columbus hasn't really been able to get much moving. Their one score came on a kind of just a breakdown in coverage from South Brunswick's side. So I anticipate them trying to get them to jump off sides here, and then they go for it.
Don't you love it when Dr. Mike gives us a lesson? Close.
Blackwell stretched out for it, but Jay, I believe he's going to be a couple yards short. Turnover on downs. Yep, South Brunswick football, a big stop on 4th down. Blackwell was ruled down at the 46-yard line, and Blackwell needed the 44 for a 1st down. So, Jay, now you got Jamison Prince, a senior quarterback, all these weapons around him, ball at your own 46, and still a minute 25 seconds left to add to your lead.
Yeah, this is like going to the carnival with a whole bunch of extra quarters in your pocket, right? I mean, he's got plenty of opportunities here to make it go.
Deep post, called by Jordan Davis, all alone, 10, 5, touchdown, 54 yards from Jamison Prince to Jordan Davis, and just like that, the South Brunswick lead 29-6 over the Stallions of South Columbus.
Wow. Mike, I don't know about from your vantage point, but from mine, there wasn't many defenders around Jordan Davis.
Yeah, South Columbus was late to get their defensive out there to the Twins side on the field. Great heads-up play by Prince because the receiver noticed it. Everybody noticed it. The DB wasn't set. He just cut right in, and he was off to the races.
Off to the races indeed, Sam Hickman. And what's that make it now? 30?
30-6.
Wow.
South Brunswick. Jay, hard to believe, but in game time.
You know, and I even think Jameis at that time played a little looky here, looky there, right? Looking off from the defenders and then waiting for Davis to break free and fires a strike. Big touchdown by the Cougars here late in the second quarter.
Jay, in the last 1 minute and 58 seconds
How many?
Of game time, South Brunswick has scored 16 points. It went from 14-6 to 30-6 in 1 minute and 58 seconds.
Sam Hickman, best numbers of the night. Excellent job, my friend.
And that is 16 consecutive unanswered points by South Brunswick here in the second quarter. That kickoff fielded cleanly. And the South Columbus return man slung to the turf at the 35-yard line with 1 minute 8 seconds left before the break.
Yeah, Zane Simmons and Caleb Clark both in on that special team stop that time. Excellent coverage by the kick cover team. Man, if you're Russell Dove and the Stallions of South Columbus, man, you might want to just get off this field and get a cool drink of water and think about it.
Jay, the only possession that South Brunswick has not scored on in the second quarter, they turned it over on downs inside the 20. So they have moved the ball pretty much at will here in the second frame tonight.
Noyola in on the stop that time, a 10th grader. That's at least the second or third time this evening that Miguel has been involved with a stop.
2nd and 8, 35 seconds left before halftime. South Brunswick sacks Blackwell for about a loss of 10.
Double
it was
four.
Number 44 again, Mr. Quinn Williams, the junior linebacker, sacks Blackwell, and I would venture to guess that South Columbus just going to let this clock expire at this point.
That was a great play by Williams because he just played under control on that entire rush and then ended up with the sack.
And that is going to do it for the first half. South Brunswick outscores South Columbus in the second quarter 23-6, and the Cougars take a 30-6 lead into the halftime break on your FOCUS Broadband Game of the Week. Welcome back to Focus Broadband's Game of the Week. Jay, it was a big first half for South Brunswick quarterback Jamison Prince. Had a long touchdown run, a long touchdown pass, and he has some special family in the house tonight. Jamison has family from West Virginia who made the trek down this week to watch him play tonight. To be continued, Jay, after this opening kickoff. I want to share something about his family who's in attendance and a really special story we heard before tonight's game, and looking forward to sharing it with you after the opening kickoff of the second half.
Yeah, it's a great story, Sam, and everyone at home will really enjoy hearing it.
Well, fielded it cleanly and then driven out of bounds. That was 22, A.J. Scott on the return. So, Jamison Prince's family from West Virginia. When Jamison was a young boy, he had an older cousin who gave him a football jersey, and he absolutely loved it, wore it all the time. So, fast forward all these years later, Jamison is the starting quarterback for South Brunswick. He has a young cousin who was at the game tonight named Jaden, and Jamison sent Jaden a South Brunswick number 7 jersey. You see it on your screen. Look at him striking the Heisman pose. And we were told Jamison loves that jersey more than anything, wears it all the time. Could not wait to come to North Carolina to watch Jamison play the second football game of his senior season tonight at Jack Campbell Stadium.
It's just a really nice story from so many fronts, right? And it's good, you know, when you're in high school and you're playing, you know, football, and if there's any ways at all that you could give back to younger kids, and even better in Jamison's case, it's his family that he's given back to. So really, really nice report.
Deep pass from Blackwell. Yeah, I couldn't tell who that was McLaughlin again, the intended receiver, and he made a good move to get away from the DB, which was 11 Zane Simmons, but the ball was just a little bit underthrown, and McLaughlin couldn't get back to it in time to secure the catch. So it'll be 3rd and 11, ball at the Stallion 41-yard line. Jay, it was a very competitive first half for about 20 minutes or 21 minutes. It just really unraveled for South Columbus at the end, didn't it?
Yeah, it was until it wasn't, right? So, and that happened really quick.
Oh, he's got a man wide open. Briar Johnson makes the grab. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. 59 yards from Rush Blackwell to number 10. Briar Johnson got lost behind the South Brunswick defense, made the grab, a nice throw from Blackwell, 59-yard scoring strike, and how about that start to the second half for South Columbus?
Well, you know, we mentioned in the first half last week, South went to the locker room trailing 28-10 and then ended up winning the game by 10. And heck, if they can do it, so can the Stallions, and they go off to a great start with that touchdown.
Going for a 2-point conversion. The back very nearly got to the goal line, but he was stopped shy. So the 2-point try, no good. Jay, take us through this replay, partner.
Well, the thing here is time. Blackwell had plenty of time, and I think you're absolutely right. Number 10, Briar Johnson, just found a place in that secondary where there weren't any blue-shirted defenders, and the catch and the run and the score.
So Jay, through a game and a half essentially, but the first 2 weeks of the season, Blackwell had a 40-yard touchdown pass in week 1. He had a 50-yard touchdown pass to McLaughlin earlier tonight, and now a 59-yarder to Briar Johnson. So that's 3 touchdown passes through basically 6 quarters of football for Rush Blackwell. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. He's a very capable quarterback. And again, just a junior, right? And he's been playing a lot of football at South Columbus from that QB position. So he's got a lot of runway ahead of him, and plays like that are going to help him enjoy it.
Just a beautiful call on 3rd and 11 for the Stallions. Oh, a little surprise onside kick, and it has trouble. South trying to get to it to recover it, and the Cougars do, just bouncing around for what felt like forever, partner, but South Brunswick did jump on it. It was number 18, Aiden Tubman. Jay, we've called his name quite a bit tonight, haven't we? He's made some plays.
Not surprised. You know, back to that nice story you did about Prince's family. I got to have a talk with Caleb Combs. Now, I've been, talking about this kid for a long time here. Why don't I have a shirt?
Where's your, is it 56?
Yeah.
Is that what he wears?
And we probably wear the same size. I'm a little up these days, but,
Now, Jay, the question is, if you did get one, could you go play in it like Caleb?
No.
Fair enough.
No. I let the big boy take care of all that. Again, I talked about 77 Morris, 73 Brower, 56 Combs, and that right side of the offensive line. We'll take a run down to Mike and see if we can figure out who those guys are. But very, very good offensive line.
It's number 70 and 55.
There's Prince. Look at this, Jay. South Brunswick has a play. Prince still on his feet along the far sideline. He's going to score. Jamison Prince from 67 yards away keeps it himself his second rushing touchdown of the night. And it took South Brunswick all of 18 seconds to answer South Columbus's touchdown. So, Jay, we're 1:11 seconds into the second half, and we got a touchdown apiece.
Well, let me tell you, the offense has come to play tonight here for South Brunswick, and in particular, Jamison Prince.
PD on for the extra point try. The kick is up. The kick is good. Jay, check it out. Prince keeps it himself.
How many yards was this run, Sam?
67.
67. That's, this is mostly just Jamison Prince, right? Had some good blocks downfield, but kind of took advantage of those blocks and didn't try to outrun them, just tried to outthink them, and the result is there's a shot of Prince. Still got that red hair.
Boy, wasn't that such a great shot of that touchdown run?
Absolutely.
Camera guys were all over it. Good work up
Ian,
there.
Ian and Brent are up top tonight. Ian and Brent up top tonight. Now, best view in the house. They told us it's a little cool. And by the way, they're featured at the Holiday Inn every night this week at 10 and 12. So go see them.
What we got here, partner? 37-12. South Brunswick over South Columbus. So, Jay, South Brunswick 1 point shy from its point total a week ago. Scored 38 against Richlands last week and have 37 through about 25 minutes of game action tonight. DeMonte Gore muffs it and then somehow stays on his feet and scampers for about 4 or 5 yards to get the ball out to about the 13-yard line.
Poor old DeMonte. DeMonte shaking his head that time, and that's like some nights it's just not made to happen for you, and that's kind of adding up to the way Gore has played here this season. Very capable runner, but credit the Cougars for really, really keying on him and just not letting him get started.
He just has not been able yet to find his footing.
But underscore yet.
Very good point. Man, it looks like Batten is getting that handoff from Blackwell so fast. Yeah, they get it to him quick. It's the problem is when he does get it, there's about 6 navy blue jerseys there just waiting on him.
Yeah, Mike, would you say the battle of the trench tonight clearly in favor of South Brunswick?
I would absolutely say that. South Brunswick's offensive line has been doing an amazing job. The defensive line is holding stout. Really, the only two major defensive plays that they've given up have been pass plays.
South Columbus tried to throw this one, but Blackwell held on to it himself and scrambled for about 6 or 7 yards. Jay, I'd venture to guess Blackwell has, 70, 75 rushing yards?
Oh, I would not be surprised at all. So you got a 50-yard pass and
a 59-yard pass.
59-yard pass. So, but much of his production tonight has been with his legs.
Yeah, Blackwell trying to eclipse the 100-yard plateau. He's already done it passing. Probably, if he hasn't already, getting close with his legs. Add a couple to it there. Jay, it is going to be a first down. The referee on the far side signaled for a South Columbus first down, so we'll give Blackwell 3 yards on that quarterback keeper. Ball's at the 23-yard line. 9:44 left in the third. South Brunswick 37, South Columbus 12.
Yeah, a little more room to operate now. See if they can do something with it. No.
You know what, Jay? The linebacker, 44, Quinn Williams, initially missed a tackle, but what he did expertly, as you say so eloquently, he set the edge. And Mike?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mike, tell the viewers what that means.
No,
what does setting the edge mean?
He took on the lead block. I literally said it out loud to myself, great shed, because he hit him with his shoulder, kept the outside, made him cut inside, and then he helped him with the tackle too. I said it out loud. That was a great play by him.
Briar Johnson again makes a big catch. He's dropped after making the catch by number 10, Cooper Creel, but early in the second half, Briar Johnson has become a reliable target for Rush Blackwell.
Yeah, and you know what you like about that, if you're a Stallion fan, is that Johnson, just a 10th grader, as are a host of players for South Columbus.
Blackwell keeps it on the ground himself again, gets all the way from the 33-yard line to the 40, so a really nice gain on 1st and 10 of 7 yards. That will set up South Columbus with a 2nd and 3.
Sam,
Ball's at the 40.
Sorry, bud, I don't know if the South Columbus capable, but it seems to me they could pick up the tempo a little bit here, maybe catch the Cougs back on their heels.
You know, Jay, not the worst result on 2nd and 3. Picked up a couple to set up a 3rd and 1.
Well, he cut it toward the middle of the field. I think if he had called maybe laterally one more step, it looked like there was a little bit of green in front of it.
That was McPherson on the carry for 2 yards. So 3rd and 1 at the South Columbus 42-yard line. 7 minutes, 25 seconds left in the third. Stallions trailing by 25 points.
Blackwell, Sam, he's been pretty successful in these short situations.
Cuts that one up the field, and Jay got just enough. I think he got just enough.
Yeah, I think it depends where they mark it, but I agree with you. I think it's a first.
He got to the 44. It looks like it's going to be marked at the 44, so we'll give him 2 yards officially and just enough for a South Columbus first down. First and 10, ball's at the 44. Xavion Bellamy dancing around, looking for running room, gets it across midfield. Oh, Jay, there was a fumble. South Brunswick forced a fumble and recovered it. And full disclosure, everyone at home, I did not see a thing over there. Not a thing. I just saw the referee signaling, pointing the other way, and South Brunswick running off the field. Did you see him lose the ball, Jay?
I did not. He is far across the field from where we are. And I don't know. Somebody probably got a pretty good lick and hit that ball. It was Bellamy, the ball carrier, right?
And Jay, the heck of it is for the Stallion faithful, it was another good gain on 1st and 10. He was set for about 6 or 7 yards, and then South Brunswick knocked it loose and recovered it. So, Jay, did I hear you say earlier that South forced 3 Richlands turnovers in the second half a week ago?
That is correct.
Fumble recovery in the second half tonight. So turnovers or forcing turnovers in the second half kind of becoming the Cougars' thing early in the season.
Well, Rocky can live with that, right? Better late than never, he'll tell you, but turnover is such an important part of football, regardless of what level you're watching or participating.
And, boy, the turnovers doomed the Stallions last week in a 7-point loss. Through an interception on a potential game-winning drive. Prince going to take the deep shot. He's got a man. Oh, just a little too strong for number 12, Mark Bishop. Incomplete pass. And Jay, that was the classic case of we just forced a turnover. We're going to go for the jugular right here, right now, and they almost had it.
Yeah, well, they were aiming for the jugular, but they kind of overthrew it and went a little high and far, but he was wide open.
South had 2 receivers over there, and there was only 1 defensive back. A nice tackle. Let's see if I can get his number 4. Ryan Chambers, the junior linebacker, came up and made a really nice play.
He's been pretty involved here this evening, Sam. He called his name out quite a few times. Bellman around the ball that time, too, 51, who was the super sophomore for South Columbus.
3rd and 8. Prince drops back. He's going to go deep again. Jordan Davis, touchdown! 48 yards from Jamison Prince to wide receiver Jordan Davis. And, Jay, don't you know young Jaden is happy down there in the South Brunswick bleachers watching his big cousin, Jamison Prince, throw yet another touchdown for the Cougars and pad that South Brunswick lead, 43-12, 5:56 left in the 3rd.
Yeah, he laid that one up beautifully, and no mistake on Davis's part that time. He just looked the ball right into his belly.
Extra point attempt by Petey, splits the uprights. Jay, he is a perfect 6 of 6 on PATs tonight. Look at this throw.
You know, and that's not an easy throw. Although he had so much time to do it, it kind of negated some of the difficulty. But when you, a right-handed quarterback like number 7 in your picture right there, no, he's not talking to us, but I wished he was. But anyway, when you roll left, you're a right-handed passer, and you got to kind of turn your body and set up and get that good foundation. And that's exactly what Prince did on that beautiful throw to Davis.
And perhaps, or making that even more impressive, there was a South Columbus pass rusher kind of bearing down on him when he released that ball.
He was in the vicinity, that's for sure. Hey, Sam, how long was Prince's run?
His run was 67 yards.
67 yards.
So Jamison Prince tonight, either throwing or on the ground, has touchdowns of 48, 67, 54, and 38. So he rushed in from 38. He threw one from 54. He rushed one from 67, and he threw one from 48. Kickoff fielded cleanly at the 8-yard line of the Stallions. Oh, nice hit on kick coverage. That's 15, Bennett Ballantyne, who is on the all-name team
like that.
In the area. Bennett Ballantyne, and Bennett laying the wood on kick coverage.
We got a player down for South Brunswick at about the 25-yard line. Yeah, perfect tackle that time by Ballantyne.
So, Jay Bird, I'm working on getting some area scores to share with the viewers Whiteville and West Brunswick clashing in Charlotte tonight with 7 minutes and 43 seconds left in the third quarter. It's Whiteville 17, West Brunswick 7. So pretty competitive one down
Pretty good
Charlotte.
effort by the Trojans. That new coach starting to do some things.
And Jay, as we go through the second half of this game, I'll try my best to get us some area updates. I know Dr. Maurer going to be following the Laney football team more closely this year.
The Laney rugby team.
A lot of Cape Fear rugby members on the Laney High School football team. And, Mike, I don't know if you saw what Laney did to D.H. Conley last week, but it was impressive.
I did, and Mason Weissman, the guy I was hyping up, got Player of the Week, I think, on WKBN. I'm going to do another shameless rugby plug. Michael Shrewsbury used to be a wide receiver here last year, playing for the UNCW rugby team this year, ranked 7th in the nation in Division II preseason.
How about that?
Come on, man.
And Michael Shrewsbury was good high school receiver.
As my friend Luke Combs was saying, come on, man, that's a country song.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Said that to Ronnie Dunn and Kix Brooks.
South Columbus picks up 4 yards on 1st and 10.
Got a
Xavier
chance.
Bellamy. He's a tough little runner, isn't he?
Yeah, and you know what? Credit to that pretty stout Cougar defense that time for closing fast, because it looked like Bellamy may have a chance to do a little more damage.
He did pick up 6 yards, and the ball's marked at the 30-yard line, so it was enough for a South Columbus first down. Boy, speaking of Laney, the Buccaneers are playing the Rams of Havelock tonight, and
that's a tough one.
What might be the game in the area this week.
Sam, I think number 20 for the Cougs was in on that stop. Can you please pronounce that one for me?
Tirapun
Shanamun. I like that.
That's what I'm going with. Jay,
here you go.
It's blown dead.
Shoot.
Blown dead. We had a false start.
Got to be on the Stallions. 6 penalties in the first half. That's the first here in the second half.
Yeah, guys, number 3 is leaving his stance just a little bit early from the backfield. I think that's the second or third one he's been called on for that.
And Dr. Maurer, the penalties were a bugaboo for the Stallions last week.
Well, Batten's a 10th grader, and they better get their licks in on him now, because he looks like he's got a very productive, nearly 3 seasons of football in Tabor City.
Blackwell drops back, fires it way down the field. DeMonte Gore makes the grab, and now he's going to score.
There you go.
71-yard touchdown pass from Rush Blackwell to DeMonte Gore, and offensive fireworks everywhere in the third quarter. That was Rush Blackwell's second touchdown pass of the third, and that pulls South Columbus within 26. South Brunswick still leads 44-18. But, again, the second touchdown pass of the third quarter for Rush Blackwell, and third of the game.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get Devontae in the running game tonight, but clearly showed how dangerous a player he is on that touchdown pass. Looks like the ball maybe even popped out there, Sam. So.
Yeah, and that was Chanapun on the tackle.
Good hit.
Number 20.
Let's watch it again.
Jay, take us through it, would you?
Well, plenty of time. That's always important. And then Gore just outruns everybody. He gets behind the defenders, and he is a tough guy to catch if he's got a lead. And you saw it all on that play there. Excellent effort by the Stallions, showing a lot of heart here tonight, not quitting.
Jay, make that 4 touchdown passes on the season for Rush Blackwell. So, boy, South Columbus has really, Jay, they got to be close to 200-plus yards passing now on the 3 touchdown passes alone.
Yeah.
That's 109, and then that one was 61, so 170 at least.
Sam, as we mentioned a few times here this evening, they're quite capable offensively. Tonight doing it a whole lot more with the pass than they did last week against West Bladen. Their issue may be more on the defensive side of the ball.
So 44-18, 3 minutes and 35 seconds left. That one's loose, partner. And waiting on the signal from the official is South Columbus football.
How about that?
So South Brunswick bobbles the onside slash squib kick. South Columbus jumps on it, and the Stallions will have a 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line of South Brunswick. 3.5 minutes left in the third.
I think that was number 80 on that recovery. Who was
Larry
that?
Jones.
Larry Jones, yeah. See it again.
Check this out. He just went to corral it and it popped right off his chest. And right off his fingertips. And Larry Jones jumped on it. Man, eagle-eyed, Jay Combs, you were all over it.
That is
Good job, partner.
Fine effort by Larry.
Blackwell, quarterback keeper, trying to push the pile. He is ruled down at the 43-yard line, we'll call it. A gain of 3 yards. That'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Hey, Mike Maurer, in your day, did they push the pile the way they do now?
No, in my day it was illegal. So, yeah, we could not do that. I think they changed the rule a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but you did it anyway. You know you did.
Jay, I was creating massive holes. I didn't need to push it.
Attaboy.
There was Gore in the run game, and he was dropped for a loss of 2 yards to set up a 3rd and 9. I believe Dr. Maurer and I had this conversation during the Bash at the Beach Jamboree when the Eagles really took full advantage of the old quarterback sneak pushing the pile situation. If they got the ball the 1, 2, or 3 yard line, they were going real tight, real heavy. Hurts taking the snap, and then about 1,500 pounds pushing him in.
Pushy.
Yeah, I played when the controversial Reggie Bush push happened.
Yep, that was USC against Notre Dame back in the day. It was ruled a catch. I was just trying to see who it was. I think that's Gore again. It was.
It was. DeMonte making a difference here this evening, catching the football as opposed to running it. And right call, by the way. He clearly caught that ball and came down. And then it came out.
And, Jay, that was a gain of 25 yards on 3rd and 9.
And looky here. They're knocking on the door again.
Yeah, Stallions in business. Blackwell rolls out to his right. Just not a whole lot of room to run. Maybe got to the 19-yard line. Clock continues to run. Still a quarter and some change left in this one. They did give him a yard. The ball's at the 19-yard line. So 2nd and 9 from the 19. South Columbus in the black pants, white jerseys, black helmets.
That was Cooper Creel that time that corralled the ball carrier.
And he is so patient running the football.
Yeah.
Zavion Bellamy picks up 15.
That was
ruled
nice.
Down at the 4-yard line.
That was a very nice run, and unfortunately, it looks like there is a Cougar down.
Never like to see that. So,
nope.
An injury timeout with 1 minute and 1 second left in the 3rd quarter. And, Jay, this is really the first time tonight that South Columbus has kind of had a sustained possession. You know,
Yeah.
they scored 3 touchdowns, but they all been big hits, you know, big plays. They've, I mean, they had great field position after recovering the onside kick. But, you know, this has been about a 5, 6, 7 play drive, and have really run the football well.
They got some big boys over there, too, as you see in our picture. Number 77, Tyrese Johnson. Number 68, Austin Duncan. That's big country, right?
That's big country.
Yeah. Back over to the Cougar side of the field as they still give attention to the injured South Brunswick player. Hey, Sam, maybe it's time to throw this one in, but hey, we are in South Brunswick, and South Brunswick, I believe, had the number 5 overall draft pick in the Major League Baseball draft this past summer, Walker Jenkins. And it's time for the Walker Jenkins report, right? Hey, listen to this. 9 games, 13 for 38. That's a .342 batting average, a pair of doubles, a triple, 2 home runs. 1 was a grand salami, right? Stole 3 bases, and he's only struck out 6 times. And guess what? He's already got promoted to single-A Fort Myers. Is his life good or not? Hitting the ball like he is and living in Fort Myers, Florida?
18 years old, Jay.
Woo!
18 years old.
Woo!
Goes to the rookie affiliate and just does nothing but smash from the moment he arrived. Oh, Blackwell's going to take off and run. He's trying to fight toward the goal line, but he's stopped at the 2-yard line. So a gain of 2 yards sets up a 2nd and goal from the 2.
Probably got time for one more play here in the 3rd quarter, unless they score.
Run around the right side by Gore. He's stopped by 22. Seth Pierce was over there to bring him down. So, Jay, 15 seconds left in the quarter. That was a loss of 2. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 4.
I don't think I'd want to rush this. Big Mike, we go down the other end of the field.
Yeah, we are. We're making a walk down there. You know, it's interesting. They've really kind of turned it on the second half here. Part of it might be that South Brunswick's just kind of feeling comfortable, but part of it might be South Columbus is finally kind of feeling their groove.
Look at the big guy there, man. Doing his thing for Focus.
As Dr. Maurer makes his way to the other end of the field, we'll take a quick break on your Focus Broadband Game of the Week. South Brunswick 44, South Columbus 18. And we're back for the start of the 4th quarter. The Stallions of South Columbus facing a 3rd and goal from the 4. Old student body right around the right side. Blackwell pushed out of bounds near the 1 or 2 yard line, but a flag came flying in there near the right side of the offensive line. And based on the body language and reaction of a South Columbus wingback, it's going to be a hold. And Jay, you got to think South Brunswick will accept that penalty and move the Stallions back to around the 14, 15-yard line, right?
Believe they'll take advantage of that miscue on the part of the Stallions. They had 6 penalties in the first half. They've had 2 now here in the second half unofficially. Last week, which was a real problem for them, they had 9 penalties and equal to 80 yards.
So 3rd and goal. Pass out to DeMonte Gore. He's going to get a lot of that yardage back. Still on his feet, Jay. He's in there. It is a touchdown. Number 2, DeMonte Gore, the senior running back, from 14 yards out. And Rush Blackwell, partner, just threw his 4th touchdown pass of the night. 11:42 left in the game, and South Columbus has pulled within 20. The Stallions now trail 44-24.
Man, I love the heart of Russell Dove's squad here this evening, because there was a point in the first half they could have just packed it up, but they really have not come back making a little bit of a game out of this.
Throws it back all the way across the field, and Jay was
Catch it?
called.
Yeah, who got that one?
Is that McLaughlin, 14?
We are a long ways away, and it
is.
is.
Javon McLaughlin hauls in the 2-point conversion on the pass from Blackwell. So an 8-point trip by the Stallions, and it's 44-26. The host Cougars still leading by 18. Here's the touchdown from Blackwell to Gore. Made a great run over here.
Yeah, he can run the football. He's shifty and tough to bring down. He just hasn't been able to get things going from the line of scrimmage tonight, but the few times here this evening they've gotten the ball to him in space, you've seen the results.
Guys, South Columbus scored that play. It's a very similar play to the first touchdown they had. Instead of the South Brunswick players coming up on the flats, they went deep not to get beat deep, and it left the flats wide open.
Yeah, that was on a 3rd and goal play from the 14-yard line. So South Columbus answers the bell. And, Jay, it was that's 14 – excuse me. Yep, sorry, folks. 14 consecutive points from the Stallions after falling behind 44 to 12. I never claimed to be a math major, and it was evident right there. We're really struggling with my math there.
Sam, man, has South Columbus outscored South Brunswick here in the second half? I believe they might have.
Yes, it's 3 touchdowns to 2.
Yeah, how about that?
So 7-6. 14 to 12. It's 20-14 in South Columbus's favor in the second half.
Yeah, like I said, the kids have not quit, and you love that that grit and determination. That'll serve them well as the long season marches ahead. North
Brunswick, last I saw, 35-6. Ahead of West Carteret. Laney leading Havelock 17-7 early in the fourth quarter. Colby Little just threw a touchdown pass on 4th and 12 to put Laney ahead 17-7. So, boy, that would be a huge win for the Jay. Wins in back-to-back weeks over Conley and Havelock.
Let me tell you,
not easy to do.
Let me tell you. Got something going on up there in Laney. The Littles are playing big.
Indeed. Prince drops back. Surely he doesn't want to be outdone by his counterpart, Rush Blackwell.
2 in a row for Bishop. And again, you give Prince that kind of time, he's probably gonna be pretty successful.
Prince, slant route.
Ooh, nice D.
Man, good play by the defensive back.
That was Blackwell, I think. It looked like 15.
15,
yeah.
Yep.
Jiminy Christmas. Sleep well tonight, young Rush Blackwell.
Sleep well, Mr. Blackwell. So the quarterbacks in tonight's game, Rush Blackwell and Jamison Prince. have combined to account for 8 total touchdowns. Prince has 2 on the ground and 2 through the air, and Blackwell has thrown 4. Jay, ball's on the ground. The ball is on the ground. It's loose. South Columbus signaling that they recovered. Overton and Prince were hit as they tried to make the exchange, and they lost it. South Brunswick loses the fumble as Overton and Prince were hit by a South Columbus defensive lineman. Ball was loose on the turf. The Stallions jump on it, and, Jay, they go drive down and score here, and it could get real interesting.
Yeah, I think that lineman, Mike, here's a cool name for a lineman, Connor Waggle, caused that fumble. Let's watch it again. 55, right there. Great charge off that line.
55, right?
Disrupting the play. Waggle did it that time.
Nothing going on that first down snap. From South Columbus, actually lost a couple yards, so that'll set up a 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you what, if South Columbus could get a quick score here and then a 2-point conversion, we got a 2-score game with oodles of time to play, over 10 minutes.
Still 10:07 left in the ball game. Blackwell fakes the handoff and keeps it, and it was a really, really nice play by 38, Ethan Adams. Blackwell kept it thinking Adams was going toward the running back, and then Adams just darted straight to the ball carrier, Blackwell, and brought him to the turf for a loss of yardage. So, Jay, if South Columbus is going to score on this possession, they're going to have to figure out a way to convert a 3rd and 14 here.
I think what they have to really be careful is not turn the ball over in this portion of the field.
Blackwell rolls out to his left, got nobody to throw. Oh, yes, he does. Briar Johnson makes the grab. Jay, that's enough for first down yardage. Pickup of about 18, 19 yards, and the South Columbus drive is alive.
Tell you what, Blackwell showing great poise
and moxie
and patience that time, and waiting for number 10, Briar Johnson, to come open and then deliver a well-thrown ball.
There's Batten on the give. Pretty decent surge by the South Columbus offensive line. The Stallions picked up about 4 yards. And Dr. Maurer, it seems as if South Columbus a little more comfortable running the football in the second half than they were in the first.
Absolutely, and I would say when you open up the pass game, that then happens. So good run game makes good pass game, and vice versa. I would continue to do the passes because that's what they're scoring on, though.
Got a man. DeMonte Gore's wide open, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line, a gain of exactly 20 yards. And, Jay, probably 30 minutes ago, I asked if you thought Blackwell had thrown for 200. He's probably approaching 300 now.
You know, as happy, I think, as Coach Lewis would have been with his defense in the first half, he's probably that upset with the defense here in the second half.
And, Jay, they got to be getting tired, too. Have played a ton of snaps here in late in the third, early in the fourth. You got to think, Jay, South Columbus recovered an onside kick, so the South Brunswick defense was right back on the field, and then the South Columbus offense got the ball and fumbled in exchange, putting the defense right back on the field. So the South Brunswick defense has not had much of an opportunity to catch its breath in the second half, really.
And while it's not as hot this evening to me as it has been, there's the South Brunswick cheerleaders who are not worried about the weather in mid-season form, but yeah, it's a little cooler. It's a really pretty night to play ball, but a lot of reps early in the season still, and I think you may be on to something there, Sam.
Yeah, Blackwell rapidly approaching the 300-yard mark passing. He's thrown for 174 yards on the 4 touchdown passes alone. Just had a 20-yard completion to DeMonte Gore, has several long completions to Briar Johnson. Oh, man, very nearly picked off over on the sideline by Brantley Baker. That would have been his second consecutive week with an interception, but couldn't quite corral it or keep his feet inbounds. So incomplete pass will set up 2nd and 10 from the South Brunswick 40. 8:14 left in the game. Stallions trailing by 18 points. But Jay, as Jay said earlier, a score here could make it a 2-possession game. Blackwell's just going to keep it if he can get a block. He's really got something. Instead, he trots out of bounds at the 28-yard line, a pickup of 12 yards and a South Columbus first down.
Yeah.
Jay, it's like 2 different offenses.
Yeah.
And 2 different defenses from first half to the second half.
You know, as Nate was talking about at halftime, you know, who's going to make the adjustments? Well, I don't know. I don't know who made the adjustments. Clearly, South Columbus did offensively, and clearly South Brunswick kind of whatever adjustments they made have not been working thus far.
Blackwell keeps it again, a good gain on first down. That is a gain of 5 yards to the 23-yard line. Boy, Jay, Rush Blackwell is going to sleep good tonight.
Yeah,
he has played. He has played a heck of a tough game.
And playing defense too, right?
Yeah,
as you
breaking
pointed
up
out,
passes.
Sam. Yeah, I said at the beginning of the game, established score in Blackwell. Well, they really have established score only as a receiver. So it's been up to Blackwell to do most everything else.
Yep, they're just sending him out in motion and onto a little swing route, and he's taking care of the rest. That's DeMonte Gore with another catch and enough yardage for a first down, marked out of bounds at the 17-yard line, a pickup of about 6 yards, and a South Columbus first down, Jay. So 1st and 10, balls at the 17.
I bet Devontae's caught at least 4, maybe 5 balls here to see.
Oh, yeah, 2 touchdown catches. He had 2 on this drive alone, and then a couple more on the previous drive. So I'd say he's got at least 6. Boy, Bellamy's fighting for yardage, but eventually brought down by 11, Zane Simmons, and then Grady Sauterfer, number 3, who's just a 10th grader, came over to clean it up. Loss of a yard, yard and a half. Ball's marked at the 19. We'll call it 2nd and 12.
Just the Stallions haven't been able to get anything productive on the ground here tonight.
There's McPherson. He's still on his feet. A good run. He's inside the 10. Dropped at the 9-yard line. So that was a gain of 10 yards, and that will set up a 3rd and 2. And, Jay, we got 6 minutes and 40 seconds left. As of right now, South Columbus still down 3 scores. So I think they have picked up the tempo just a bit. 3rd and 2, direct snap. Blackwell up the middle. He's got enough for the first down. He got to the 6-yard line. So, yes, enough for the first down yardage. And it'll be 1st and goal, South Columbus at the 6-yard line of South Brunswick.
Blackwell that time showed some patience, right? Kind of waited until there was at least a sliver of daylight there, and then opened the jet, hit it hard, and picked up the first down.
Under the 6-minute mark, and South Brunswick defensive coordinator Chris Sauterfer heading on to the field to chat with his defense. And back to Jay's body language comment from the first half. He appears none too pleased.
Well, it hasn't gone very well for the Cougars here defensively in the second half. And maybe the credit just goes to some changes and some much better play on the part of South Columbus. You see Rocky out there listening in on this one, right?
– 'Mike,
'Mike, what do you think?
I'm going back to Sam's point earlier. These guys look tired. They're playing a little tired because they have not had any rest. And you got a couple of guys on the South Brunswick team that are playing both ways. So they've gotten very little break along this way. And South Columbus having this long, extended drive after all of that.
Yep.
There's not a lot of gas left in the tank.
Very, very good point, Mike. The defense on this drive alone has been on the field for several minutes. And, again, South Columbus in this whole run got an onside kick. They recovered a fumble after only like 2 South Brunswick snaps. So Jamison Prince has played like 1 or 2 offensive snaps in the last 30, 35 minutes of real time. Meaning the South Brunswick defense has been on that field the whole time. Blackwell rolls out to his right looking for a receiver. Instead, he cuts it back up the field. And he is driven out of bounds inside the 5. Got to maybe the 1 or 2, partner. Yep, got to the 1.
Yeah, looking to see who was coming off that pile. 42, Brennan Kelly, a junior linebacker. Also the punter for South Brunswick.
I've only seen Blackwell punt for him.
For South Columbus.
Last week. Oh, I'm with you. Hand off to Gore around the right side. Jay fumbled the ball.
Lost the ball. What happened? Is he in?
Touchdown. Yeah. They say he possessed the ball as he crossed the goal line, and then it came out. So it is a touchdown, South Columbus, with 5:07 left in the game. DeMonte Gore's 1-yard touchdown run has pulled the Stallions within 12. It's South Brunswick 44, South Columbus 32, and the Stallions once again going to go for a 2-point conversion.
I think some people wake up in the morning, if they haven't watched with us tonight, going to be a little bit surprised at the score of this game. A lot of points.
Gore again around the right side. Got to turn it up and try to get to the pylon.
Close.
And he is in. Gore takes on 2 or 3 South Brunswick tacklers and muscles his way across the pylon for a successful 2-point try. And it is a 10-point game with 5:07 left. South Brunswick 44, South Columbus 34. Jay, how about we talk about finishing a run? Watch this.
Yeah, Gore just kind of waiting, and he just ran through a would-be tackler that time.
And then stretched that ball out to make sure it got there.
Absolutely. Nice effort by DeMonte Gore, the senior running back for South Columbus High School.
And, Jay, that is his 3rd touchdown of the night. He had the rushing touchdown and the 2-point, but he has 2 touchdowns receiving and 1 rushing.
Pretty good night of work. $78 points. Now, I don't know. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. We know both these teams have pretty high potent offenses, and maybe they're right where they expect to be, scoring, moving the ball.
Another kind of short onside kick. It's loose, and South Columbus got it. South Columbus
did.
recovered it at the 46-yard line. Looked
80.
like it hit the face mask of a South Brunswick player, and South Columbus gets its 2nd onside kick of the second half. And what is happening?
And that's Larry Jones. Did he recover the first one?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he's recovered 2 of them tonight now. And we talked about big plays, and last week, not many big plays for the Stallions tonight. Plenty of
goes
them.
off a face mask.
Yeah,
yep.
Hit his helmet.
Right.
Hit his helmet.
So 1st and 10, South Columbus at the 47-yard line. There's a give to Bellamy, looking for running room. He's got a little bit of it. Yep, picks up about 7 yards on 1st down to the 40-yard line. That'll set up a 2nd and 3 at the South Brunswick 40. And, Jay, this is, we just had several conversations about it. This South Brunswick defense quite literally cannot catch a break. They hustle over to the sideline after a Stallion touchdown, and they're right back on the field.
They are tired Cougars right now.
Down the middle of the field, he's got a man. It's DeMonte Gore.
Wow.
Touchdown. 40 yards from Rush Blackwell to DeMonte Gore. Gore's 4th touchdown of the second half, and it is a 4-point game with 4 minutes and 27 seconds left.
Holy moly. Who would have thunk it?
Man, oh man.
Well, they're going to go for 2 because they've still working on the kicking game. So easy decision for Coach Dove. They can cut it to 2 points here.
Gore trying to make it a 2-point game. He's in.
He did it.
Stays inbounds and inside the pylon. 2-point rush is good. So back-to-back possessions where DeMonte Gore scores a touchdown and rushes in for the 2-point try. Jay, check out this throw and catch.
Good block in the backfield to give him time, and Gore's just all by himself. And, you know, this combination, I think, of the athleticism of Gore and the tiredness, perhaps, of that South Brunswick defensive secondary. They, as you and Mike have expertly pointed out, they have been on the field a long time here, particularly in the second half.
So that is a 16-point spurt, and it covered 40 seconds. 5:07 left in the game. DeMonte Gore scored a 1-yard touchdown, and 40 seconds later, Blackwell connects with Gore on a 40-yard touchdown pass, plus the Gore 2-point rush, and it is a 2-point game with 4:27 left. And Jay, you got to wonder if South Brunswick brings the hands team out there. They have. Same type kick again. This one fielded cleanly by South Brunswick. He's got a return. That's Davis. Oh, man, he very nearly got around the South Columbus coverage team and took it down that sideline, but excellent starting field position for the host South Brunswick Cougars. So, Jay, a touchdown would take the lead to 8, and then Petey's been perfect on extra points. So a touchdown and a successful point after try would, again, make it a 2-possession game.
Sam, way back in the second quarter, would you have bet the difference in the game at this point would be that 2-point safety? But indeed, that's the difference.
That. Man.
The 2-point safety as well as the missed extra points for South Columbus.
And the missed extra points, Mike, you're so very right.
Prince keeps it around the left side, and somebody made a heck of a play.
Did he lose the ball?
No, he was down. The referee's pointing down. But somebody made a heck of an individual play over on the far sideline. The game clock continues to run, approaching the 4-minute mark here from Bowling Spring Lakes. No gain on the carry from Jamison Prince. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Sam, don't you think the Stallions got a little bit of a giddy up right now?
A little bit. Yeah, more than a little bit, partner. It's a 30-0 run right now for South Columbus. Wide receiver screen, and it's off the hands of Davis, the intended receiver, and incomplete. And, Jay, it's been so long since South Brunswick's offense has been on the field. Maybe a little rust here late in the fourth quarter.
And there was a defender right around the ball, because when the receiver missed the ball, it kind of scooted forward, not far from where the South Columbus Stallion defender was.
Folks, halfway through the third quarter, South Brunswick led this game 44-12. 44-12. Prince drops back, fires a pitch, dropped. Oh, he hit him right between the 1 and the 8, and it was dropped, and that's going to set up a 4th and 10 from the 48-yard line, and Jay Prince coming off the field. The Cougars are going to punt it away, it appears.
Intended receiver that time was Aiden Tubman, who is a very capable receiver.
Incredibly sure-handed.
Yeah, and that one just could not bring in. So we got a punt situation for South Brunswick with 3:29 to go. Oh, my soul. What a game. What a comeback by South Columbus.
And guys, you got to wonder the call to make 2 passes in a row to stop the clock rather than trying to keep it on the ground.
Low spiraling kick, bouncing over toward McPherson, and it's going to roll out of bounds about the 21 or 22 yard line, about a 26-yard punt. And Jay, with 3 minutes and 19 seconds left in the game, South Columbus gets the ball back, down by 2, a chance to go win the football game.
Well, 2 things. One, Mike's observation, excellent. 2 throws in a row, they stop the clock, so they leave that precious clock with enough time for the Stallions to do something with it. And the second thing, Sam, how many times in a row have they scored? A bunch, haven't they?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 times in a row. Smart play, getting out of bounds.
So that was Gore who hopped out of bounds. Jay, it was a very minimal gain, though.
Yeah, it was.
Just a yard or 2 on first down, but I think no matter where you are, you're in 4-down territory now.
Oh, sure.
If you're South Columbus. It will stop the clock. So 2nd and 8. The ball is at the 23-yard line. South Columbus was down by 32 points midway through the third quarter. The Stallions have scored 30 unanswered. And Blackwell is going to drop back to pass. He rolls out to his right. Makes one-man miss, still on his feet. Reaches the ball toward the line to gain. Ruled out of bounds at the 29-yard line. So South Columbus 2, maybe 3 yards away from the line to gain. Yeah, we'll say 3rd and 3.
Mike, first half, that's a tackle that South Brunswick makes. With 3 to go, not so much.
Yeah, the positive of being aggressive and swarming to the football is you get a lot of guys there, but you got a lot of guys running a little bit excessively.
First down, McPherson across the 35, dropped at the 37-yard line, a pickup of 8 yards, and a South Columbus first down, 2 minutes and 56 seconds, and the clock continues to roll as the chains have moved. Jay, really plenty of time for the Stallions. You don't have to get in too big a hurry yet.
Probably do not want to be in too big of a hurry. They'd like to score and not leave any time for Prince and company to do something.
Blackwell rolls out. Oh, very nearly picked off by number 15, Bennett Ballantyne. He read it perfectly, undercut the intended receiver, and just could not quite hang on. I think the receiver got his hands in there about the same time, but an excellent play by Ballantyne to knock it down. The clock does stop, but it'll be 2nd and 10, South Columbus at its own 37.
Yep, Bennett was in the right place, right time, and almost came up with the INT.
This has been one of the wildest halves of football I think I've ever seen.
You never know.
Oh, Blackwell rolls out. Is looking for anywhere to throw the football. Has got nobody, and he is shoved out of bounds at the 41-yard line, a pickup of 4 yards. And undoubtedly, here comes the play of the game so far, a 3rd and 6 for South Columbus. They've got 2 plays to pick up 6 yards to keep this drive alive.
Well, they've had a lot of luck with Gore not running the ball so much, but as a receiver, maybe it's time to go back to the well.
They're going to take a deep shot over the head of everybody.
And
they got it. There's a flag.
There's the flag. And is that Gore?
No, that's McLaughlin.
Oh, that's McLaughlin.
I think.
Okay.
Boy, a flag did fly in. And Jay, now the flag thrower, going to come and have a conversation with the official. Pass interference against South Brunswick. That will take it from the 41 to the 44-yard line of South Brunswick, and it will be 1st and 10. So 9 to the 50, and then 6 more to the 44.
Well, we always talk about penalties, right? And while this evening South Brunswick hasn't been penalized that much, they sure picked a bad time to pick up a big one right here.
So South Columbus 44 yards away from erasing a 32-point deficit with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. 5 minutes left in the third. South Brunswick led this game 44-12. And they're going to just give it to Gore on the ground. He's still on his feet. Across the 40 down to the 36-yard line, a gain of 8 yards.
And he's a little slow getting up.
So the game clock stops with 2 minutes and 5 seconds
Look
left.
at those guys coming off, Sam. They're exhausted.
They're exhausted. I mean, Coach Maurer down there on the sideline. I mean, what can you tell your kids when it's clear they are just completely and totally gassed?
Dig deep is the first thing I think of. Other than that, you're really just trying to motivate them. They're still winning. That's the thing. So the whole sideline has been kind of defeated this entire second half. And you got to let them know that you're still winning. You're still in this game. All you have to do is get a couple stops.
Yep, if you're South Brunswick defense, you poke the ball away and recover a fumble, and you can salt this one away. Some alignment issues here for South Columbus before this 2nd and 2 snap. I think they got it situated now. They're going to keep it in Blackwell's hands around the right side. That's enough for the first down. He's inside the 35 to the 32-yard line, a pickup of 4 yards, and another South Columbus first down. Jay, exactly 2 minutes left. If I would have looked at you an hour ago said this game's going to come down to the final possession, you probably would have had me committed.
Sam, there were 3 times in the second half that I started to get you to explain the mercy rule. I really did, because we were that close.
Yeah, I mean, this is truly unbelievable. Play clock down under 10 seconds. South hands it up the middle, and there's the South Brunswick Blue Shirts on defense.
Who is that? 51,
Caleb Combs
56.
and 61. Jaden Daniels was in on that too, wasn't he? 61?
My namesake came up with a big play that time, did Caleb Combs, with help from Jaden Daniels, I think.
2nd and 13. The ball is at the 36-yard line of South Brunswick. A minute and a half left in the ball game. Devontae Gore in motion.
Up top.
Blackwell half rolls out to his right. He takes off with it. He's got all kinds of running room, Jay Bird. He is inside the 20. Well, pushed out of bounds right at the 20. I thought he kind of tailed off to the side there at the end, but it's enough for a first down, a pickup of 14 yards and a South Columbus first down.
Mike, we've been talking a lot about the South Brunswick kids, but on that play, Blackwell looked like he kind of ran out of gas too.
Yeah, he ran out of gas, but it was a smart play because he knew he can get to the sideline. So you're just trying to make the guys run. They're just it's a boxing match. They're just jab, 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 and they're trying to find that opening to close them out.
Need that haymaker.
We're under a minute left. Blackwell fakes it, throws it out, pass is dropped. You know, Jay, with the clock situation, that may not have been the worst result in the world for South Columbus because it stops the clock. The Stallions do have 2 timeouts remaining. That incomplete pass forces the Stallions into a 2nd and 10, ball at the 21-yard line of South Brunswick. We've seen every snap of South Columbus's regular season. I haven't seen them convert an extra point yet, so a field goal probably not in the cards here.
Don't think so, but the way this game has gone, who the heck knows?
Yep, who knows? Good point. How did he make it miss? He's got a man! It's a touchdown! It's a touchdown A 21-yard touchdown strike from Rush Blackwell to Easton McPherson with 44 seconds left in the game. South Columbus, 21-yard touchdown, 36 consecutive unanswered points, and the Stallions have moved ahead by 4, 48-44.
And that 4 points is important, Sam, because South Brunswick does have a capable field goal kicker.
So here comes the 2-point try. It's Gore around the right side again, and Jay.
We got a flag, I think.
Oh, Jay, he didn't get it anyway, so I believe they could decline this one.
Yeah.
And it'll be no good. I thought I saw the referee signal that the 2-point try. No good. Jay was almost sacked 2 times. Take us through this one.
Oh, this is Blackwell. I mean, making plays. Gets away from a defender, keeps his balance, and then kind of, we talk a lot, Sam, about location versus rotation. That wasn't a rotating pass, but it was the right location. And great effort by Blackwell. Great effort by this entire Stallion team to kind of spit in the face of adversity. And what we got going on now, Sam? Who's the penalty on? It must have been on South Brunswick.
Oh, I guess Gore did get in, so South Brunswick had to. Okay. The 2-point try was no good. South Brunswick declined the penalty, and the score remains 48-44. So no need for them to try another 2-point try if Gore wasn't in the first place.
So, Sam, again, we were talking before, neither one of us are mathematicians, but I think in the second half, South Columbus has scored 42 points. They had 6 at the half, and now they have 48. Good night, nurse. 42 to 14.
Wow. And that is 36 consecutive points.
Jeez.
In basketball terms, it's a 36-0 run.
They are on a run, yeah.
Folks, if for some reason you're just joining us, South Brunswick led this game with 5:56 left in the third. Jamison Prince threw a touchdown to Jordan Davis, and it put South Brunswick ahead 44-12. 2 minutes, 20 seconds later, Rush Blackwell hit DeMonte Gore on a long touchdown pass, and that was the first of 5 consecutive touchdowns for the Stallions.
This play right here has made a big difference in this game.
They just kicked it like that again. He's going to run it back. He might run it back. He's still on his feet. Brought down at the 30-yard line. Jay, maybe the play of the night for South Brunswick, made by number 58, William Brown. Scooped up the short bouncing kick and runs it all the way back inside the 30-yard line of South Columbus. And Jay, I just can't figure why they wouldn't squib that one hard.
Deeper down the field. Well, maybe because, 2 of them tonight, they got the ball back. I don't know, but all I know is there's 42 seconds to play, and the guy under center or in the short snap situation can do some things.
Prince rolls out to his right, looking for a receiver. Oh, it's picked off.
Oh, my word.
It's picked off in the end zone, and the South Columbus defensive back, Easton McPherson, drops down, gives himself up at the 9-yard line. So how many timeouts does South Brunswick have left? If they don't have all 3, Jay, it's over.
Guys, the most upsetting thing about that play is he had a guy wide open at the 10-yard line, and he was trying to go for the win and just tried to force it in there.
Oh, and still 30 seconds left on the clock. Jay, back to one more point. In the fourth quarter alone, South Columbus has outscored South Brunswick 30-0.
Oh my gosh!
In the fourth quarter,
30
alone.
points in the fourth quarter.
30-0.
Good golly day.
In what we can only describe as the most unlikely outcome from an hour ago.
They're just in the rugby scrimmage scrum now, Big Mike.
Yep, get the snap to Blackwell.
Come on, Jay. You know I don't like that term.
Go start recruiting.
He's got to give himself up. It looked like Blackwell got the snap. It just took 2 steps backwards. He's
probably so tired he don't know if he's coming or going, right?
Fair point. So South Brunswick calls the first of those 2 available timeouts. And Jay, if you're South Brunswick right now, all you can hope and pray is that Blackwell bobbles a snap and they fumble a snap on a QB kneel. That's their only hope left.
I think you're probably right, Sam. What a game. If and I'm going back to what I was talking about in the first half, which obviously tells you I haven't a clue what I'm saying, but what a great defensive first half on the part of the South Brunswick Cougars. And then what the opposite defensively in the final 2 quarters. It is amazing to me how the fortunes of these games can switch so quickly.
Yeah, guys, South Brunswick played pretty near perfect for all 3 phases. And then now on the second half, they've got 2 turnovers on the offense. They've allowed so many big plays, and they had 2 turnovers, I believe, on the special teams as well.
There's big plays, Mike. You're so very, very right. Oftentimes the difference between who wins and who loses.
South Brunswick led this game 44-12, more than midway or under the 4-minute mark in the third quarter. Since that point, South Columbus has outscored South Brunswick 36-0, and barring a botched snap and a South Brunswick recovery, South Columbus going to win this ball game.
Going to be a sweet ride back to Tabor City, ain't it?
It is.
And I'll tell you know who the luckiest man in the world is tonight? It's Big Jake at WWAY, because Nathan's going to cut him some highlights, and it's going to take the whole 5th quarter.
Highlights
so
galore.
You folks at home, tune in Jake tonight, and you can watch a replay of highlight after highlight after highlight in the Stallion Cougar game here this evening.
Big Mike, what do you think? I mean, what's racing through the heads of these South Brunswick players and coaches right about now?
I'm sure they're kind of at a loss for words. They're going to tear through this tape. They're going to tear through the team. It's just tough because they had such a big comeback last week, and then they kind of let it get the better of them this time. And this was just an absurd and crazy game, one of the craziest high school football games I've ever seen.
And that's it, folks. South Columbus took their last knee. Jay, what's really wild is to think about everything that had to go right for South Columbus and wrong for South Brunswick. If you remember late in the game, this is after South Columbus had recovered 2 onside kicks, scored every time it had the ball. South Brunswick's offense had a chance to put it away on a 3rd and 10 play. Prince rolled out to his right in front of us, hit a receiver right in the chest. It was dropped. They had to punt it away. South Columbus goes down and scores the go-ahead touchdown.
Yeah.
And, Jay, I can't imagine how anyone out there must feel, because this is absolutely stunning.
Sam, there was a TV show on way before you were born called ABC Wide World of Sports, and it was the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And you saw it here this evening. What a remarkable effort by both teams, and in particular a road win for the Stallions of South Columbus. They just refused to go down.
6 touchdown passes for South Columbus quarterback Rush Blackwell. South Brunswick's Jamison Prince had a big night of his own to continue his torrid start to the season, but just a stunning turn of events in the second half. South Brunswick again led 44-12. South Columbus scored 36 unanswered points, 30 of those coming in the fourth quarter. And the Stallions, Jay, you're right, it is going to be party time on that ride back to Tabor City. South Columbus earns its first win of the 2023 season. They improved to 1-1 overall. South Brunswick drops to 1-1. We will be right back here next week as St. Paul's makes the trip to BSL for a non-conference game.
Sam,
Jay?
happy trails to the Stallions.
Happy trails to the Stallions. He's Jay Combs. Sideline reporter extraordinaire, Dr. Mike Maurer, Renee Evers, Mr. Ian, Mr. Brent. Good night from the entire FOCUS Broadband TV team. We'll see you right here from this campus next week on your FOCUS Broadband TV Game of the Week.